And hello again, everyone. Welcome into another edition of the Jacket Corners. We head into the final week of the regular season for high school football. Hard to believe we're already down to the last week of the regular season. Of course, playoff time begins next week, and the Oxford Yellow Jackets are hoping for an opportunity to advance to the playoffs. But some things have to happen this week for Oxford. First of all, they've got to take care of business on the road on Thursday night against Decatur and hope for some things to go their way in some other games. Joined now by Oxford head coach Ryan Herring, whose team lost last Friday night at home to Chelsea by a final score of 38-17. Coach, that wrapped up your region schedule, wrapped up your home schedule. It was senior night, a great opportunity to honor your seniors for this season. But I know it was a game you were disappointed in, especially the way they were able to move the ball on you. You had played very consistently throughout the season defensively, especially stopping the run, but that's exactly how they seemed to beat you last Friday night.
Yeah, it was a surprising game because we really thought that we put ourselves in a position to stop the run, and we thought we would, and we thought we may be a little soft on pass, but they ended up running the ball and running effectively on us, and so that kind of hurt a little bit. But all we can do now is just try to rebound and play better football this week.
You had an open week going into the Chelsea game, but you don't think that was a negative? You think you needed that to get some guys
really,
healthy?
as young as we are, and like I said earlier, playing 7th, 9th, and 10th graders, we needed that break because they're not used to that type of season. Most 9th graders have a 6-7 game season. 10th graders may have a 5-game season, the way like me and you used to play with B-team schedules. So, I thought we needed the break, and I thought we'd be fresh, but we just didn't. We didn't play real sound. We didn't play real physical on defense, especially on the edges, and they kind of had their way with us.
Had you won the game, you would have secured a playoff spot. Now you're in a situation where you still have to win this week on Thursday night on the road at Decatur, a team that doesn't have a great record, but if you look inside the numbers and some of the situations they've been dealing with injuries, they're going to be a very formidable opponent for you. And then you also need some help in the game between Mountain Brook and Huffman. I know it's not an ideal situation that you would like to be in at this point.
Well, we've got to go to Decatur and win, and Huffman's got to lose to Mountain Brook. So that's the two things that's got to happen. It's that simple. And if those two things happen, we're going to be in the playoffs. But like you were saying about Decatur, I've talked to some coaches in that region, and they think Decatur's probably the second best team in the region behind Muscle Shoals. They've just had injuries, had a quarterback out. They got him back last week, and they scored 42 against Florence at Florence. So they got a good football team. A lot of the guys we saw last year, they had a defensive lineman who I thought was one of the best defensive linemen we saw all year. He's back. He's a great football player. So it'll be a tough game. It'll be a challenge going up there. But, we need to rebound from last week. We need to get the taste out of our mouth from last week and especially play better defense.
All right, we'll talk a lot more about the Decatur matchup later on in the program. But first, we'll take a break and come back with highlights of Oxford and Chelsea from last Friday night on senior night at Lamar Field. We'll be back in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, here come the Jackets. Hands off, right side, breaks it up the middle. Outside, there goes Frank, sets up middle, 50, 45, 40, still on his feet.
Well, last Friday was the final home game, senior night for your seniors, Coach.
Real proud of those guys. They've been there for us all year. They've showed up and they've worked hard. They do everything we ask them to do. So proud of them, and wish we could have sent them out a winner on senior night. We didn't do that, but I'm just real proud of those guys. Here we're on defense. Start off good right there. Jermaine Taylor makes a good play on the edge for a tackle for a loss. We started right here, run a lead play against them. They're in that 3-5 stack and feeling real good. There's Trey Franks, kind of gets the ball taken away from him right there, but gets back on it. But we start off running pretty good right at them. Thought we could do that a lot more. Here's Q Mason, good job blocking on the edge right there, good job running. Here we are right here. 4th down, and I don't know what happened. The receivers, I don't guess, got the right call from the sideline, but they act like they didn't know what to do, and heck, we end up with a no-gainer right there on 4th down. Great job again right here on defense. We started off good these first couple series. We're playing good defense like we'd planned on playing all week. Had a couple extra days to prepare for them. That's 2 series in a row right there. We give them a little bit of a seam ball, but we knew we might give up some stuff as long as we stopped the run because they really weren't a throwing team. Right here, tackling the backfield again. Giving up some little things, but still playing some good defense up to this point. And right here is where we mess up off the edge. The outside linebackers bites in on a dive fake, and he's got quarterback. You know, it's just one of those things. If you remember back, that happened against Gadsden City. You know, we got to play smarter, especially when we're unblocked. When you're unblocked, you got to play smarter. Here's a great job by Jordan Swain. Would have ran all the way back, but Desmond Cooley right here, 16, just I think he's wanting to lead him instead of block for him. If he just makes a block, we get a touchdown on the kickoff return. But great job by the kickoff return team right there. Here's a little quarterback draw with Brody. Watch him, boom, runs over that last guy. Always runs the ball tough. Here comes Keaton Bow, really does a good job right here. Comes in, gets us 3. You know, we kind of stall out, but we get 3. We can live with 3. We don't want 3 all the time, but I'll take it. Right here, we're just too soft in coverage, you know, but that's okay. That's fine. We didn't mind giving them some of that every now and then. Right here, we just don't do a good job, again, with outside backer stopping routes, but that's still not what they're going to do to beat you. Here's what they're going to do to beat you. They're going to hand the ball off. And we don't do it. We do a terrible job on the end. We do a terrible job with play side linebacker, backside linebacker getting there, and then the safety misses a tackle unblocked. You know, we just don't do a real good job right there. There's no excuses to make besides we don't do a good job. Good job right there. We got Abe Peoples in right now, quarterback, 9th grade quarterback comes in. Brody Sire hurts his wrist. It causes his hand to go numb, and he really doesn't have control of his hand. Abe comes in, does a super job for a 9th grader coming into a varsity game. Hits Cube Mason on about 2 or 3 passes in a row right here. Here we are, Jaquay Calhoun. You know, I think right here that's his best run of the season. And he's a 10th grader, you know, so that means he's gotten better through the year, which you're supposed to, but that's a 10th grader doing a great job for us, gets us a touchdown in right before the half.
Big score there, Coach. They were up 14-3, and you come back, pull to within 14-10. So pretty good spot here at halftime.
You know, at halftime you feel good, especially with that score right there before half. But you know, we gave up that touchdown on a 2-back lead. That should never happen. There's no excuse for that. That was just poor defense, and you know that's got to get corrected.
Well, you mentioned your quarterback situation. Brody went out with a hand injury. You had to bring in Abe Peoples, again, a 9th grade backup quarterback, and I know you were pleased with his poise coming into the game. Did it change anything that you were going to do offensively?
I don't know that it did. It's just, you know, Brody's a leader. He's not a real verbal leader, but he is a leader by his style of play and his toughness. And I think anytime a guy like him goes out, you know, some air is going to be let out. But, you know, Abe came in, and you saw right there, led us down the field for a touchdown. So it didn't hurt right there. But, you know, just another 9th grader having to play. I'm proud of those 9th graders, but, you know, you kind of hate having to throw them in here in a game that means so much. But it's what we got this year, and we got to deal with it.
All right, we'll be back with second half highlights in just a moment. As we go to break, a look into the Oxford High School Marching Band from senior night on Friday night. And we're back in the Jacket Corner. Time to head into the second half. And Chelsea with the football, Coach, and they kind of get running on you here on offense.
Yeah, you know, we kind of covered Keenan Britt up so he could run and make tackles right there, and he kind of fit that in too tight, didn't scrape off, and missed a couple of tackles. And you know, in some ways, I think we put a little too much pressure on him at times, and he's trying to overcompensate and maybe do things he doesn't have to do, and kind of got out of position a couple of times, and that's probably my fault more than anything. But good job right here getting the ball out, getting Jacoby. Right here, I was like, dadgummit, Abe. We threw the pick, but the receiver kind of ran the wrong route right there, and so it wasn't all Abe's fault. They get the ball back, though, and get a little slant on us. And the guy, when he's on his way down, he fumbles, and the official in the end zone sees it and rules it incomplete. And then they overrule him for some reason. And we just do a poor job right there on the goal line play. They got a little heavy set. We kind of knew what was coming. We just didn't come downhill and get it with the play side linebacker. We just got to be more physical, more downhill. Here we are again misfitting, you know, and we went to some even front stuff to try to confuse them, and I think we confused them pretty good. I just think we also confused ourselves maybe a little bit, especially at linebacker. Good play right there, Jermaine Taylor, Kenny Britt, hold them to a field goal attempt. You know, so we're still playing hard. We're just making some mistakes. Some guys not leveraging the ball where they're supposed to. Right here, you know, Jacob Sears, outside linebacker on this side, and he takes off across the field. You know, just little mental mistakes like that you can't make if you're going to win games when you're playing decent people. Right here, we just missed 2 tackles. And those running backs are quick, but I think we made them look a little better than what they really are. Right here, the cornerback and outside linebacker don't play the right coverage. And, you know, we get out leveraged, get out flanked right there.
Fourth quarter now.
Fourth quarter right here, we just overrun the ball. I think Kenny's worried about we've got to have contained it on the edge several times with outside backers. I think Kenny was worried about having to contain the ball instead of just play it inside out like he normally does. And me and him talked a lot about it. And, you know, I think that's what was going on. And we just got to do our jobs. And hopefully other guys do their jobs. Good job right there by Abe on a boot, hitting Q Mason. I thought he was going to go the distance guy. I tangled him up right there on about the 20. Here we are, Trey Franks. Run the ball hard. The guy's unblocked, but Trey still gets about 4 or 5 yards. Good hard running. Here we are. Look at there. Boom. He sees a cutback lane. I mean, that looked good right there. Great job blocking and great running. Real proud of Trey right there on that run, just like I was on Jaquays he had in the first half. Good job right here hitting Hareem Averett. Abe hit Hareem on a little dig route on a 4th down. Big play right there, and then there's your ball game.
And the final score, Chelsea comes into Lamar Field, knocks off the Oxford Yellow Jackets by a final score of 38-17. And Coach, when you get in late in the season like this and you've got quirky things going on with the regions, which is very typical at this time of year, just curious, did you know at this point what you were facing regarding the playoffs? When did you know what had to happen this week for you to get in?
Well, you know, if you look back to Pell City, we knew we had to beat Pell City. And we knew we needed Valley to lose to Pell City, and we thought Valley would lose to Pell City because they wasn't playing at Valley. You know, if they'd played at Valley, they'd have won easy, but they played away from Valley, so they got beat easy. So we got to the game, and, you know, we thought if we beat Chelsea, we're definitely in, we're 3rd. But still, you don't know, and then all of a sudden you lose a game, and you start looking, well, what's got to happen now, and you start adding stuff up. And, you know, now it's down to non-region wins, and you accumulate those teams' wins. So, like, we've got Southside's wins, and we'll need Decatur's wins. So we got to beat Decatur. Well, Pell City's got Lincoln's wins, and they got Huffman's wins. But I don't think they'll beat Oak Mountain Friday night. So I don't think they'll get their wins. So, you know, we've got to beat Decatur, and Mountain Brook's got to beat Huffman. Those 2 things happen, we're in. Either one of those 2 things don't happen, we're not in.
And, you know, in a way, I guess the way you'd be treating this with your team is you still control part of this, and all you can focus on is your game and winning your game. And I'm sure that's the thing.
That's right. We hadn't mentioned Huffman and Mountain Brook. All we've talked about is Decatur and how we play against Decatur, because that's the only thing we can control. And we've got to do a better job than what we did against Chelsea. We definitely won't beat them. We've got to go up there, tough place to play. And they've got some good-looking kids, and they've you know, they've had some bad luck this year like we have. But, you know, both teams are 3-6, so I'm sure it's going to be a tough game.
Let's talk about something else off the field for a moment. I understand you took the team this week to see the new football movie, Woodlawn. Talk about that.
We went and watched it last night, took the whole team. Alexandria had their whole team there, so it was kind of us and Alexandria in a theater. And our FCA director, Ryan Limbaugh, kind of headed it up. And it was a great, great night. If you haven't seen the movie, everybody needs to see it. It's not only just a good story. It's not only a good spiritual. Everything about the movie is good. It kind of shows you some of the good things and bad things with society and high school football. But it's just and it's a true story. And the things that are in there are all based on facts. And so it's just a neat historically from historical context and just being true, and the message in the movie is awesome. We had some kids make some big decisions after the movie, so it was a great night, and I was just blessed to be a part of it.
Awesome. Encourage you to go see the movie Woodlawn out at theaters now. Also encourage you to stay with us, because when we come back, more about the big matchup with Decatur coming up Thursday night as we continue in the Jacket Corner.
Fourth quarter. Fakes the handoff. Hayes rolling. Fires it. Man needed to make a miss. Good job by Mason.
And welcome back to the Jacket Corner. There you see the matchup on Thursday night as Oxford travels to Decatur, Shorty Ogle Stadium for 7 o'clock kickoff against the Red Raiders out of Class 6A Region 8. Decatur not in the playoffs this year. This will be their final game of the season no matter what happens. Of course, Oxford with an opportunity to earn a playoff berth if they can win this game and get some help from Mountain Brook. And taking a look at the 6A Region 3 standings, there you see Opelika, Benjamin Russell, and Chelsea now securing the first 3 spots. And there's the situation. You've got 3 teams at 2 and 4 in the region tied for the 4th and final playoff seed, Oxford, Pell City, and Valley. Coach, again, we've talked about several times during the show about what needs to happen. You've got to win the game at Decatur and then hope that Mountain Brook beats Huffman. And let's talk about the game with Decatur. Not only is it going to be a tough matchup for you because they've got their quarterback back. As you mentioned, they put 40-plus points on the board last week, so they're going to be a very tough challenge for your team. But it being Thursday night, if you win the game and get in the playoffs, that's a great situation because then you get that extra day. But it's a short week to prepare for them. You've got some rain to deal with this week, so your practice schedule has been affected, I'm sure. Talk about the short week and the preparation.
Well, you know, I like it being on Thursday night because that gives you an extra day to get ready for the playoffs, just gives you an extra day of rest. But, you know, nowadays we trade film and get film on the internet through this Huddle deal. So it's not like it used to be where you have to meet somebody to get actual tapes and VHSs. So we actually can get tape. I mean, we can get film through the internet. We can have it, you know, a click of the button. So it gives you an extra day to prepare for the playoffs. It's raining, you know, it rained hard yesterday. It's going to rain all day today and probably Wednesday. So, and from what I've heard, it's raining in Decatur too. So, you know, they're not getting an advantage. If we had an indoor or something like that, it would probably be an advantage. But I don't think they have one. We don't have one. So we're both having to fight the rain and fight a short week. We both had a tough season. So, you know, I think whoever can mentally get ready and mentally prepare and go up there and play the smartest and mistake-free is a team that probably is going to have the best chance to win.
And again, their record is very deceptive. They're only 3-6, but you mentioned their quarterback has been injured. You look at their schedule; they when they're right and they're clicking, they can compete with anybody, can't they?
Oh yeah, they lost to Bob Jones 31-30, and I think missed a field goal that would have won the game. They got beat by Austin, which is their crosstown rival, but that's when the quarterback got hurt. He got his second concussion, and he's been out really since then. But, you know, they feel like they should have beat Austin, they should have beat Hartselle, and they should have beat Coleman. If it had their quarterback, they feel like they would have beat all those guys, and they'd be second in the region. And I talked to the coach at Muscle Shoals. We played college football together, and he said, really, they are the second best team. He feels like he's got the best team, and Decatur's the second best team in the region. So, you know, it's going to be tough, but we've played a tough schedule this year. We've played about as tough schedule as you can play. So, you know, how tough they are and all that won't be anything we hadn't seen because we've seen Ben Russell and Opelika and Vestavia and Gadsden City. We've seen tough opponents all year, so that's not going to catch us off guard. You know, but it's like I always say, mismatches won't beat you, though, this Thursday night. I think mistakes is what will beat you. I don't think the mismatches will hurt us. The mistakes will hurt us. We've got to play mistake-free football, both sides of the ball and special teams, and we'll have a chance to win. Speaking
of quarterback injuries for them, your sophomore quarterback was hurt last week. What's the status of the quarterback position this week?
We think he's going to be able to play. He's getting feeling back in his hand. And, you know, if you know Brody Sire, unless you cut it off, he's probably going to play. And if his hand starts to bother him, he can just go play defense and help us over there too. So he's going to play Thursday night, regardless of how his hand is. He'll play.
Well, you got this. It's do or die. It's almost playoff time starting this week.
That's right. You know, there's no reason to hold anything back. I told Coach Padgett, if you got a good reverse in your pocket, go ahead and run it. It doesn't need to save anything for next year.
And I'm sure an early departure from Oxford on Thursday.
Yeah, we'll leave a little early. The kids love Chick-fil-A, so we're going to stick with our Chick-fil-A pregame meal, but we'll stop somewhere probably around Coleman, walk around a little bit. And I think we're taking the Greyhounds, so it'll be a good, comfortable ride. You know, it's really about anywhere from 2 to 2.5 hours, depending on traffic. But they've got a big stadium. I've heard it's a tough place to win as far as officials. Not as bad as Valley, but it's a tough place to get calls. Probably a little bit like going across the river to Gadsden. You better be about 7 points better if you're going to win.
All right. Best of luck to you on the road this week, Coach, against Decatur. We'll be back with you again next week for all the highlights right here in the Jacket Corner.
Ladies and gentlemen, here come the Jackets.